Today we have another session of some breaking news that we've got, and we're going to start basically with one of our key stories. This one is actually hilarious. The story we've actually got is about this young this young lady. Um, what really happened is that this girl got flogged by her brother after tattooing boyfriend's face on her chest. Now, obviously, it doesn't occur to her that this man hasn't, or rather, the boyfriend hasn't married her or anything. But with youthful exuberance, when you're in love, you're very young, you're in love, you don't even think of tattoo, think of it. You don't even think of it at all. It's just a matter of, oh, I'm in love, the passion is there, everything seems to be on cloud nine. So the very fact that you might not be able to remove that tattoo did not even occur. Well, let me actually share this very quickly. So it's quite an interesting one. Fortunately, for most of us, there was no tattoo back then. Anyway, if there was, it was a local cultural one. So I don't think anybody in their right frame of mind at that time, if you are fortunate enough to have parents who were not really, down into those things, but those in the villages, man, it's not really funny at all. So this is it. It said in a dramatic incident that sparked debate online, a young girl was disciplined by her older brother after tattooing her boyfriend's name and face on her chest. The brother, disapproving of her choice, saw the act as both silly and wayward, leading them to take matters into his own hands. In the video circulating online, the girl is seen crying, begging for forgiveness as her brother chastises her for what he views as a reckless decision. Well, the incident has divided netizens, with some supporting the brother's attempt to set boundaries, while others argue the punishment was excessive. Are you sure? Well, quite frankly, I think attempt has been made to actually remove the offending, image that was being tattooed. Unfortunately, there is no video down here to actually reflect that anyway. But I mean, what do you guys think? The truth is, that sort of thing is quite, it's very dicey, so to speak, because the moment you actually have that for life, okay, imagine, the chances are that at least over 60% chances that that guy will actually would dump her. And for her to have gone to that extent to do that, so obviously there must have been some level of, you know, physical passion that must have taken place. You most women, you know, women actually, in terms of their hearts, they get once a woman actually loves a guy, she's ready to do anything. And for guys, it's a different thing entirely. I'm sure this guy, maybe after having his way with her, now all he's thinking about is the next one. And then before you know it, meanwhile the girl is thinking, oh, he loves me. Now she's not put like a permanent. But there's a picture here that shows, it's like it's fake. I think attempt has been made to, maybe it's one of those fake tattoo anyway. But the mere fact that it was actually placed on her chest, it's just something to actually get the brothers to just go AWire on her. Now, in regards to what the level of punishment, I'm not really entirely sure whether, um, should I say, is it justified? Well, in African culture, these things is normal. Um, take it as you want. Maybe in the West, where we wouldn't even think of things, anything of that sort. Most people not even date an eyelid. So, in this case here, I think consider the environment and the culture tradition. So it's probably will be something that you just can't do that. It's viewed as being reckless. So that's it. So what do you guys think? Anyway, put it on the comment section. Let's see how that goes. But man, that looks like Kobuko. So let's move to the next one. Now, most of the time we say Nigeria has issues. This one, if you know that you have high blood BP, and you are from Nigeria, please, just keep. Because this will definitely get your goat. It's often been said that our politicians don't really care, don't, our politicians don't, they are not sensitive, to the plight of Nigerians, you know, because if not, how else would you explain? We all know that Nigeria currently is actually going through, a severe, economic downturn at the moment. And then you now have a politician displaying money in a look. If a rapper or maybe you know a musician, a celebrity, or one of these shall I say influencer online, is displaying this kind of money. Of course, there are certain level of expectation. Like, yes, when they do that, you will just like, well, that's your problem. But when people who have been tasked um, with the job of looking after or representing Nigerians at, in the legislative level in terms of government, actually displaying money like a club owner. Even club owners self, I don't think they will even go this far now. I mean, let me just share this. Then I'm sure you guys won't believe this. So, like I said, I warned you, if you know that you have high blood BP, look away because you'll be so angry. Very, very. Okay. Now you could see it said Ali Yusani Madaki display wads of cash, faces backlash. He should face more than backlash. Now I don't know the context of this money. I don't know what the context is, but the fact is that they're in a private place and you now have money. This money just being dumped there. You can see it's in 1,000 naira notes, and they are sitting down there. People can't eat. Okay, look at it this way. He said he's a member of the House of Representatives from Kano State, Ali Yusani Madaki, has come under heavy criticism after a video surfaced online showing him a stack of cash running to millions of naira in his living room. What sort of governmental, duty will warrant millions of naira being displayed in his living room? The footage, which quickly went viral, shows Madaki, who represent Dala Federal constituency on the platform of the new Nigerian People's Party (NNPP), sorting wads of 1,000 naira notes stacked in a pile alongside two other unknown individuals. The apparent display of wealth has caused widespread disapproval among netizens, especially given the economic challenges currently gripping the nation. Many took to social media, particularly X, formerly Twitter, to express their anger and disappointment, describing the lawmaker action as insensitive, tone deaf to everyday struggle faced by ordinary Nigerians. With cash scarcity still impacting daily life, a social media user, Pure Stanley, highlighted the disparity, questioning how Madaki assessed such a large cash while banks limit customer withdrawal. Almost all the banks in Nigeria are not dispensing more than 20-50K to their customers. Yet Ali Madaki has over 50-80 million in cash at his house. How? Which bank dispersed the money to him and what does he want to use the money for? These are the kinds of people occupying our wheels of power, steadily impoverishing this country, Stanley wrote. Another critic, Engineer YG, raised concerns about accountability, commenting it's alarming to see politicians like Ali Sadi Madaki in office raising questions about accountability, transparency. This image of him surrounded by cash is sparking outrage, wondering how he intends to account for these funds. Another user identified as all power belongs to God wrote, I swear, these people are the reason we don't see cash anyhow again. Just imagine, and poverty in that region is extremely high. I don't believe Ali Sani Madaki can say this each amount of money is for constituency projects. Baba AGK wrote. As the controversy continues, said our next citizens were demanding answers regarding the result of the cash, of the funds and purpose it's intended for. This is the sort of thing. I mean, when I look at this gentleman, I mean, I'm not sure I can call him a gentleman really. What sort of ill judgment is that? Number one, what is he doing with this huge amount of money in his living room? Is absolutely outrageous. Number one, so insensitive in a nation whereby, especially like they said, a member of the House of Reps from Kano State, high level of poverty. You know, a lot of people there who are impoverished, and this is what it is. Most of the, not all, but some. It's just difficult to put a number on it. The percentage, of politicians who do this kind of thing. I mean, I don't know whether it's quite high, but the fact of the matter is that there is poverty over there. There's poverty all over Nigeria, no doubt about it. But when you look at these politicians displaying money like this, it just does not make any sense. It's like they will say in Nigeria, man, it's mad though. How on earth would he even make this? I mean, this is supposed to be a matured, a matured man. So his people must have some level of, you know, trust in him because he's representing them, obviously. So, I mean, then he's now sitting down in the midst of, banditry, kidnapping, all sort of crazy herdsmen killing people and all that, and people are suffering, people can't eat free square meals. And then you have this gentleman sitting down there supposedly representing the people. Like I said, I don't know in what context, but like one of the commentators said earlier, what is the justification? How on earth? And this guy will be one of the people making, legislation then. I can't see him, unfortunately, making any sort of sensible, you know, helping to pass or even initiating any sensible, projects, that will sort of alleviate poverty in that part of Nigeria. I mean, please tell me, what the heck is it going to do with that? Where is the project? It's quite easy to. They said in the absence of, communication, you make assumption. Well, I'm not going to make any assumption here, but the fact, even if it's for it's actually for a project, why would he allow himself to be filmed in something like that? It makes him look, maybe it's for a project. Let's assume that is, but then this may actually makes him look really bad. Does he not realize that? I mean, now this is not one of the mainstream parties. This is NNPP. So supposedly a lot of people have voted for the say APC badge, PDP badge. So this NNPP, please, if we are to give, say for instance, for argument's sake, the NNPP are given, they are given an opportunity. This man is, I'm sorry to say, you know, this is PR disaster, PR disaster, because people can make, an assumption that. So what's the point? You know, it doesn't matter whether it's APP that it doesn't matter when you bring this other new party. They're pretty much going to do the same thing. He's sitting there looking. I don't know. Maybe he wants to hang the picture in his living room. But this is terrible. It's it's a total PR disaster. That's it. No sensitivity. That just shows that they are not clued up. That just shows that they don't give a thought. Not even thinking of the impact of this kind of picture if it gets out there, what it's going to look like. It just tells you. They said the picture will tell you 1,001 things. There you go. So draw your own conclusion. What do you guys think? So make some comments and let's see how it goes. Right. The next story I've actually got is that we all know Winners Chapel, and in recent times, uh, one of the key lieutenants in Winners Chapel, Bishop Abuye, a very, very powerful man of God, a very, very, when you talk about, embodiment of Christianity, Bishop Abuye, I've never met him, funny enough, but there's so many things I've read about him. These are people who are consistent in service. In Nigeria, where in a country where right now, to be in service is seen as being subservient. This man actually shown the way. Apparently, he actually met. Uh, he, he actually met Bishop Oyedepo some only God knows how many years ago. You know, and the key thing I'm just I think they said they first got connected in 1979. I can see that now. So Said a few weeks after his resignation from the Living Faith Church, Bishop David Abioye is set to begin a new ministry. You know, when people write stuff like they say he's set to begin a new ministry, it can connote the idea that, okay, he left, so let me go and do my own. For those who actually understand how ministry works, it is God, it's the Holy Spirit that will direct them. It is not just something that is, you are not starting a company, a cooperation that, man actually has control over, where you can decide that you want to do this business, you want to do that business, you know. But with this sort of thing in ministry, for genuine men and women of God, they are directed by the Holy Spirit. When I hear of when people say, "Oh, so so and so person is retiring," in real Christianity, there's no retirement. It's when you are dead. That is when there's retirement. There was a story of a gentleman, uh, Lester Samra. I remember when I actually read that story, where he actually retired, being in ministry, God knows, for 40, 50 years. So he now got a big chair after supposedly retired. And his wife, like, yes, so let's work the younger generation. We are now retired, like civil, as if they've been working in, you know, in a public, or should I just say, whether it's public or uh, private venture, where now they have now, officially retired. And they just got a call at the age of 80, and God told him, "Oh, yeah, so you've been a pastor now. I'm making you an evangelist. I'm sending you out into the world." It was such a shock, to a lot of people. Like, what? Is it not supposed to be right? No, in the things of God, it doesn't work like that at all. It doesn't work like that. There's nothing like retirement. Retirement is man-made. It is more or less to say, oh, resources are not enough, so let's allow the younger one to come in. That is just what it is about. When you talk about retirement, these days now you have people who are retired at the age of 50, then you now go into private ventures. That's what you get if you're working for other people. So, and in this case here, I can definitely assure you that anyone that actually knows Bishop David Abiri, when you listen to his teachings, you can tell, these are people who stand solidly, a kind of, shall I say, a Caleb or a Joshua, holding the hands of Moses. In this case here, uh, Bishop Oyedepo, he served totally, faithfully, you know, these are mentors, the kind of people that all of us should actually aspire to be like, unflinchingly, without any personal, you can tell that they were not looking out for themselves or trying to create a niche for themselves, or for himself rather. Now he has been given another mandate. No doubt about it. Was I in the preview knowing that? Nope, didn't know, but I know. They said by their fruit you will know them. Like, seriously, So I'm really happy for him. So he has a new order. So don't expect that any of the men of God will now say, "Oh, I'm now retired." So bring me one big, shall I say, 30 that you can sit in front of the church and be enjoying the younger. There's nothing like younger one in ministry. In ministry, you serve for life. It's a conscription for life. So for them, there's nothing like now I have now retired. Retired from where? When you see the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Daddy Gio, he now said that, oh, he's now retired. Retired from what? Anyway, so yeah, we actually wish Bishop Abuye, Godspeed in his start of his own ministry that he has been given. How many people can wait? Like in this day and age where you are serving somebody like, I can't, I want to start quickly. I want to start my own. Yeah, send me now. It doesn't work like that. So I salute. Mm. So, moving to the next story is about, it said, man jailed for more than 3 years for loading illegal streaming service on TV. Okay, this is in the UK, basically. This gentleman is, I don't know, for most part of the world. In the UK, you have like, like having free DSTV, like then you have the device, like it's called the Fire Stick. It looks like a very large USB stick where you can actually watch free movies. Nobody should ask me any question. So some people are actually watching free where they're supposed to be paying. So apparently, so they want to use him as an example. The funny thing about it is that it actually says that this man was warned. He said a 29-year-old man has been jailed for more than 3 years for loading illicit TV streaming services onto Amazon Fire Stick. Jonathan Edge from Liverpool pleaded guilty to three offenses under the Fraud Act. He was sentenced to 3 years and 4 months in prison, which included a separate concurrent sentence of 2 years and 3 months for accessing and viewing the content he was supplying. Edge ran a service uploading illegal services to Fire Stick device in return for cash in hand payment at his home, Liverpool Crown Court. He used Facebook advertising and word of mouth recommendation to run his operation. He ignored multiple warnings about illegal activities, which were referenced by the judge and treated as an aggravating factor in sentencing. The prosecution was undertaken by the Premier League and supported by several other organizations, including FACT, Federation Against Copyright Theft, and Merseyside Police. Mm. Mhm. Kevin Plum, Premier League General Counsel, said the significant sentence handed down to the individual involved once again served to highlight the severity of his actions. We will continue to pursue legal action against those supplying unauthorized access to Premier League football, regardless of the scale of mode of operation. Ignoring warnings to stop only serve to make the consequences worse for the individual. Detective Sergeant Steve Frame from Merseyside Police said Merseyside Police is committed to working in collaboration to investigate intellectual property theft, and we welcome today's sentence handed to Edge. Many people see no harm in illegally streaming TV services but are wrong, and this outcome should serve as a further warning how seriously such copyright theft continues to be taken. So this guy has now been arrested and is serving is is going to eat beans for a while. So there you have it. So if you are selling illegal streaming services, this is for the UK. So I'm not pretty sure that you have anything like this actually happening in Nigeria anyway. So moving swiftly on, now this story that I have, I think we spoke about the cultural acceptance of certain practices. Say I mean, for instance, in university, in the Western world, I don't think it would be possible for. I mean, if you have students acting, you could ask them to leave the lecture room, but I can't say maybe yeah, I can't say Africa, so I would say Nigeria because I know this is where this took place. Um, okay. So basically, there was this issue about where they asked the students to. I'm trying to actually get the story ready. Yeah, Caleb University lecturer Caleb University lecturer orders students to kneel as punishment. University students. I remember uni in Nigeria. I think there was one of our lecturers there. So who actually he didn't ask the those are our course mates to actually kneel, but he did ask them to go and stand in the back of the lecture room as a kind of punishment, and that was really, really, really annoying. Really, really, I mean, you know, but that day, if you now decided that you were not going to stand, you might become a medical student, to emergency medical students, because these guys will now decide that yeah, they're going to take some actions against you, and they will take it personal that okay, so you are feeling cool with yourself, okay? We're telling you this is what you're going to do, and you refuse to do it. It doesn't happen in the West, but in Nigeria, in that part of the, I'm not going to say where, But it did happen. So it says in a viral video sparking heated debate, a Caleb University lecturer, this is one of the private university, one of the top private university in Nigeria, and parents send their awards there to the standard there is top notch, no doubt about it. So a Caleb University lecturer was seen ordering a group of students to kneel down as a form of punishment. The footage shot from a high vantage point by a student captured the lecturer loudly scolding and threatening the student, who seemed hesitant or tried to leave. In the clip, the lecturer can be heard repeatedly warning, "If you go anywhere, you will never finish from this school, I promise you." Did you hear that? Yeah, hasn't changed. Though it's still unclear what led to the punishment. The video quickly attracted backlash online. Many netizens expressed disbelief at the treatment of students. Forget about the fact it's a private institution, where tuition runs into millions. It is a university. Now, I can understand when you do this in high school. Like I said, that's a traditional culture, in Nigeria, and I think across most of the, um, um, you know, the secondary school across Africa. But when you are talking about university student, no, that is way too wrong. I mean, no, 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 no. I do not accept that. You can't be treating university students. They are young, they are young adults, and this is the kind of thing that they try. Maybe this is one of the things that sometimes that the younger ones can't really challenge. The older, should I say, those in authority that are older. So, like, you do not look at us. A lot of us actually grew up under this, but thank God we learned to sort of deal with this, and then find out that for us, if you're in the West, to be at the competitive edge, you can't be. You imagine you're going for interview, or maybe you're dealing with your manager, you're not looking down. Won't they be wondering that? Are you all right? So basically, he said, look at Caleb University. After paying millions in fees, they are still treated like this. One commentator said, vented. It's not about, I keep saying it's not about being, whether they are paying billions or whether it is totally free. It doesn't matter. They should still not be treated like that. Another person shared, my friend told me horrible stories about the long lines in the cafeteria. Sometimes you are not tall enough, they skip you until you speak up. Another user expressed disappointment with university experience by saying, you finish secondary school and enter secondary school Pro Max. Whoa, that says it all. Many are now calling for a review of student treatment at private, no, at universities. With some wondering if students have any voice against such disciplinary action. I can tell you for free that this sort of thing did take place in non-private universities, public universities, yes, federal states. In some instances, I'm not saying everywhere, but in some instances they do take place. Let's see.
Welcome to Gist Media. In a viral clip from Caleb University, Nigeria, a staff was caught on video punishing students by forcing them to kneel, sparking outrage online. The footage, taken from a high angle, shows the lecturer shouting and even threatening students who hesitated or tried to leave, saying, if you go anywhere, you'll never finish from this school.
Wow.
Netizens are shocked, especially given Caleb's high tuition fees. One commenter said, look at Caleb University. After paying millions in school fees, yet being treated like scum. This incident has people questioning the treatment of students at private universities. So, what do you think? Too far or just tough love? Let us know in the comments, and don't
Nah, it should not be. It should not be. It should not be. It's not a matter of whether it's a federal university or a private university or anything like that. Now, it shouldn't be. No university student should be treated like that. They are no longer in secondary school. I mean, in secondary school, yes, you get treated like we accept that. And I'm totally in support of that. But when it comes to university, no, no, no. What are you trying to do? You want to kill their, are you trying to kill their shall I say, their initiatives, or you're trying to make sure that they never leave their head. Come on, what is that? Should never be. Should never be. Right. So the next one that we've got, it's let me look at we've only got two more now. Now you see, so like now this is another one, if you have high blood pressure, please look away again. Because this is another politician story. Honestly, this is just, Nigeria is not poor. I, Let me just put it this way: Nigeria is not poor. It's not a poor country. We have, you know, most people will say our politician, but the truth of the matter is that it's not just our politician. We, the people ourselves, are all culpable in this because we actually select them. When it is time to elect new leaders, what do? We will come and offer people 5K, rice, oil. It's ridiculous, and people take them and they will go and vote for them, and they think they are having national cake. So all those people that actually collected rice and beans and this and that, I hope they are still eating it, because for the next few years they're going to be eating it. So, I mean, politicians are a reflection of the wider society, of the wider society. They are one of us. They are not from planet Venus or from planet Mars. They are one of us. So when you see there, and people are benefiting, you will never hear them complain. Complain about what? They're very happy as long as it's their turn. When I say it's their turn, that the person they voted for, or rather the people, they know that is sorting them out illegally. They don't mind. So it's a case of Amora Jack. So let's look at this. It said 2.8 million US mansion bought with stolen Nigerian money. Authorities say close friends of an alleged kleptocrat bought properties with cashmen to fight Boko Haram, underscoring how the use has become money laundering haven. The 2.8 million mansion, tucked at the end of a private drive, boasts a climate control wine cellar, sauna, and four fireplaces, features not uncommon to this wealthy part of the Washington suburbs. But the man who bought the place a couple of years ago did not stick around to enjoy them, neighbors say. He introduced himself, then disappeared, leaving some wondering what has happened behind his 9 foot tall carved wood front doors. The mansions in Leafy, McLean, Virginia, um, like mansions everywhere, tend to hold interesting character with money. Here along a quiet street in a neighborhood called the Ridings, there is a noted plastic surgeon, a high-powered corporate lawyer, and the CEO of a defense consulting firm, among other property records shows. But court filings in Nigeria, as well as those from an insurance claim surrounding a jewelry theft from another mansion nearby Beverly Hills, California, suggest the owner of the McLean residence has a different type of story. The way Nigerian authority tell it, their country's former national security advisor misappropriated more than 2 billion from his own government, routing some of it to a family friend, the man who bought the mansion in McLean in the United States. According to Nigerian authorities, the man sought to launder the money in part by purchasing homes. The allegation against him, experts says, underscore a significant global issue. The U.S. real estate market has become a money laundering haven for corrupt officials and criminals across the world, a place to hide their cash behind opaque shell companies. So our politicians are shifted from Swiss bank now. So America is the place of choice. Next year, the U.S. Treasury Department Financial Crime Enforcement Network will begin receiving reports under a new rule requiring title companies and others to collect information about certain real estate sales, particularly transactions where the buyer is a trust or some other legal entity and pays with cash. At a time when many Americans' neighbors are experiencing affordable housing crisis, it's more important than ever to stop dirty money from being laundered. Okay, look, in a nutshell, basically, this is just we all know what happened about this security advisor. You know, this is something that took place. You know, this is not new. When I say it is not new, it is something that has been going on for years. Not just the United States, in the UK, in Europe, Switzerland used to be a place of choice. Now people, I mean, offshore companies all over the place in Jersey, you have all these things. So, you know, this is just goes to tell you that Nigeria has money. We saw the picture of that other gentleman, the House of Rep member, displaying money blatantly like Al Capone. It's like some mafia lord. It's so disheartening. The problem we have in Nigeria is not that there's no money. It's just that we are elected people who just don't give a toss. You know, who they will stick up their two fingers to say up them. You know what I mean? They will just do all this sort of thing. People are unaliving themselves. People are jumping into the lagoon. All sort of things are happening. And there we have people, using third party. How many mansions do they want to live in? How many mansions do they want to live in? Vast majority of Nigerians are living in abject poverty. Then to actually make it up, sometimes I just wonder whether there is this concerted effort, whether there's a concerted effort to impoverish Nigerians. Because if you look at it right, you think there should be basic food. You know, Gary is expensive, like mad. The basic things that people will buy are so expensive. These are not imported stuff. These are locally grown things. So, because when you look at it right, if our farmers across the country are being attacked, is that not an act of war? Is that not a strategic plan? Because if you want to defeat a people, back in the day, that's one of the key things. Now, you coughed out when they lay siege on a nation, they deny the people from being able to come out to come in. So that means that they can't trade, they can't bring in food, they can't go to their farms. Those are the days when, cities have walls. Okay. Now we don't have that. So now, but when you look at what is going on, it's almost similar in especially in the northern part of the country. The farmers they are destroying. I think there was this news, I can't remember what states. They had an harvest of I think, is it rice or maize? It was actually burned. Everything that's been harvested. And when things like that happen, what I realize is that, is there any alarm bell ringing that, look, is this not a way? Because obviously, when demand really outstrips supply, you know, that's where you have high prices. You have all these inflationary reactions. The market forces everything begin to take place negatively. And yet, in Nigeria, sometimes I just find it very strange. Everybody just going on like, I get it, being cool under fire and stuff like that. But this one doesn't have up. You have these people attacking farmers, and yet we don't have a state of emergency. We should have a state of emergency across the nation, but we're not having it. We're being told just get on with it and pretend like nothing is happening. Most people can hardly feed. I saw a video, I think that was like earlier in the year. The guy walking, he just fainted. He was walking and he just went, actually, what's going on? What's going on? They checked him. And the guy said he hasn't eaten for 3 days. Well dressed. You know, Look, I can get it if we know we are in a state of war. But we are not in a state of war. At least that's what we're being told. We have all these people in the surrounding, in the, I'm talking of in the forests around major cities, especially in the northern side of Nigeria. These people are kidnapping, there's banditry, herdsmen are attacking farmers, or they are bringing their, I mean, well, maybe not all of them, but you see, it makes it quite difficult when you don't know, it's a case of all the lizards are lying down, which one has a bellyache. How do you tell? For some reason, in the middle belt in Nigeria, there seems to be this effort there that, you just hear 200 people killed in a village. Except the stories that actually happened earlier, I think about a couple of months ago, that the people fought back, I think somewhere in Zamfara or so, that the people actually fought, and those guys flee. They came back again, they dealt with them again. You know, the Nigerian army, they are doing their best, but the truth of the matter is that there are some key actors that were supposed to be, you know, that I remember that the former President Buhari, where I think it was Dubai or so, that they said they have some people who have been, they found out those who were sponsoring these things. And President Buhari never allowed them to release their names. Why? It's not everybody that has the same type of protection like the top political leaders under President Buhari now. And yet, we still have governors being attacked, high officials being attacked. If all these attacks is going on all these people, then what exactly is actually going on with the other? I mean, how would ordinary Nigerians feel safe? How would they feel safe? How would they feel safe? I don't get it. I'm sorry, but I think we need leaders like Donald Trump with with some real balls. I think we should say seriously, we need decisive leaders. We don't want leaders who will just come and tell us feel joy. We say, oh, don't worry, it will be all right. When their talk does not match their work, what sort of leadership do you want? You want those ones that are more interested in things that do not matter. Leaders who are selfish, mostly is what we have. Or is it leaders who think it is their birthright just to lead for the sake of leading? I am the leader. They are functionally, let me just say, put it this way, just useless. People are suffering, they don't feel anything. Why would they feel anything? They are not hungry. They're not hungry. They are good. They're living large, far removed from every challenges. They don't have to travel from Lagos to Abuja to Kaduna, Kano to Sokoto, Borno. They don't travel by road. They just fly over the problem. So when they say, they are killing people, say, is it? Don't worry, we'll send people there or let's have a meeting. Their reactions is so unreal, surreal. And these crazy people who are the enemies of Nigeria get emboldened constantly, continuously. This is the time that the country needs to actually pull together. All this sort of division, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, all this nonsense needs to stop. It's only a fool that we actually would think, let's go our way. It will come to everybody if care is not taken. We are at a crossroad right now where we actually believe that, within the nation, we need to have activities. We need to have initiative, strategic plans that will enhance further integration, trust that will create trust, among all the tribes. But instead, we have politicians who constantly always playing the tribal game. So division, rule and divide. You know, they divide us, so people will never come together. Instead, they'll be talking about, oh, let's do this. It's not about that. Is one of the reasons why I don't believe in secession, where I said, let's go away. No, if we cannot deal with it, we will not be able to deal with it. Go and look at Sudan. You know, when they actually gave Southern Sudan, they have predominantly black people there. In Northern Sudan, you have predominantly, the Arab side of Sudan. Then what happened? When the Southern side actually went away, the people in the Southern side, the black people there, they started fighting themselves. The vice president and the president started fighting. The idea was that, oh, once we are all black people, oh, we are all okay, oh, we are fine. That never happened because it will never happen. The issue has always been, look at the United Kingdom. In the United Kingdom, that concerted effort has always been there to actually, give every, that's why you have the devolution of powers. And pretty much each time Scotland says we want to go. I remember I think the last referendum. I know of English people that most Scottish people don't really can understand when you understand the history. They were like, we don't want you to go. I was surprised, and that was really good, because we are stronger together. Those who are saying that Nigeria should divide, everybody go their way. They, they, they have no idea. They have no idea. That is never a solution. When a nation is big and strong, you know, the benefits are so immense. Everywhere you go in Africa, Nigeria, you divide. Will just be just like all these other countries that they are great, they are small, but small and mighty. Benin, Togo. If that is what we are wishing for, then we're on the right trajectory because we cannot continue with the way things are. We can't. We can't at all. So so you have it, folks. So I don't have anything else to, that's just the last story there. We can't just, be performing all these stunts, money being stolen. These people, they when they steal this money, you think they're going to live forever. That is what they think. And the irony of it is that they think they will have peace, or because they have the money, they've now stolen this money, Anyway, folks, so just want to say thank you for actually coming, and please subscribe, share, and like, and we actually appreciate that. So we have some targets here that we're trying to increase, our subscriptions. So please share and like. Once again, my name is Olatune, and I'll see you again tomorrow. God bless and good night. Thank you.